Hey guys, thank you very much for coming. Rex Patrick and I, the former Senator for South Australia, have been working very hard over Christmas to get 2 bills designed. They are ready to go. They will be put into the Senate this afternoon. What those bills do is reduce the payments of our Vice-Chancellors and our top bureaucrats, and it's about bloody time. It is way overdue. I'm sorry, but you can't tell me the way that those universities are carrying on and their standards over the last 3 or 4 years that a Vice-Chancellor's worth close to or over $1 million. And that's without all the niceties put on top of it, all the cream on top. You can't tell me that we've had numerous suicides in a Royal Commission coming out of Veterans Affairs, that we have a secretary that's on over $800,000 a year. This is rubbish. You want to know why you've got performance problems in our university sector and up here? You want to know that with our top bureaucrats? Is because instead of paying them at the front, maybe you give them rewards at the end. Rewards at the end when they have finished, when they've actually got the job done. It's time for carrot at the end of the stick. The rest of the society has to work under that, and I don't understand why Vice-Chancellors aren't put on that, why they're on more pay. They're on more pay than the Prime Minister. Why is a secretary, a top-end bureaucrat secretary, on more than what the Prime Minister is up here? This has absolutely got out of hand. It is out of control, and it is about time these people were warned.
Yeah, we've got to recognise that people who serve in these roles, and as a Vice-Chancellor, you serve not for profit, but for education. And in the case of the public service, you serve for public service, not for profit. We have a situation where, just as an example, the US Secretary of Defence gets paid $403,000 Australian dollars, yet manages a budget that's more than the entire Australian government's budget. Our Secretary of Defence gets paid more than twice what the US Secretary gets paid. No one can really explain how these salaries have gotten so high. It seems they go to the Remuneration Tribunal. No one really checks on that body. It's a secret body that simply announces pay rises every year. And the pay is simply not in line with public expectation. No one who becomes aware of these salaries thinks that it's appropriate for these people to be earning more than the ministers for whom they work. So we need to have change. We're hopefully going to get some support from the major parties. I mean, that's always difficult because they don't like to do anything that's disturbing, even if it's the right thing to do. So we'll just have to see how that plays out. Happy to take questions.
Senator Lambie, we've seen recently that a lot of universities have started cutting back on teaching staff, essentially, as a result of international student numbers falling. Do you think that cutting back on VC pay may save other jobs in the university sector?
What I do know is the responsibility of those VCs to make sure that those teachers are actually getting paid properly and appreciated, and they're not doing their job. There's no doubt about that. So absolutely, some of that can go towards that. The other thing is they can make better decisions instead of running our universities like a business, which is what it's turned into. How about you run our universities to educate our children for the future? That's what we want to see. You will get paid by performance, and that's how it should be done. That's how we do it in the private sector. You'll get paid by performance. That's not been taken into the remuneration. The Remuneration Tribunal, in my eyes and many others, has become an absolute joke. It is laughable. All the secrets that they keep, they don't do it by performance. There's some little deals done in the backyard behind closed doors there, and it's time those days were over.
Senator, just on superannuation and Labor's plan to tax...
Can we please just, sorry, can we get this education done? Sorry, mate.
Just back on the university pay for a second. There seems to be a bit of a pipeline at the moment with former politicians going into the university sector. Do you think that's why there hasn't been much movement when it comes to cracking down on some of these wages?
I can assure you, we won't be relying on former politicians that have been giving these cushy little jobs for their own benefits, because they're not for the benefit of our Australian kids, that's for sure. What I want to see is the best person for that job, and that's the way it should be done. And the other thing is, it's time we started paying them by performance, not because of remuneration. Not because of the remunerations decides behind back doors, and they're not even looking at the performance. It's time to pay for performance. That's what we do in the private sector. That's how it should be done, and these people shouldn't be any different up here.
One of the advantages of having a bill in place is that we now can call a Senate inquiry to look into the bill, and those Vice-Chancellors and those Secretaries can come before the Senate and justify how it is that they're getting such those sorts of salaries. So there'll be fairness in this process, but I'm not sure that people will be able to come up with a good reasoning behind these salaries. So it'll be a case of these people will turn up and we'll bring the popcorn and the Coke and sit back and watch what happens.
Do you have any sort of figure in mind for what you think might be more reasonable without preempting?
The bill prescribes a fee of $430,000. That fee, remuneration is based on effectively the Treasurer. We say that the Treasurer is a good baseline in terms of responsibilities and diversity in terms of their understanding of the issues they have to deal with, and that's why we say that's the right ballpark to look at.
Senator, just on the superannuation plan that Labor to increase tax on council $3 million above, where are you at on that? Are you negotiating?
No, I've made it very clear I won't be supporting that, but I am hearing this though, and I'll put it out there that just so we're all quite clear about this, the judges were extremely, judges around Australia, it was going to hit them. They're extremely concerned about this. Apparently word is they're getting an exemption. They did threaten behind closed doors to take the government of the day to task on this and that it was constitutional. So I just say to those judges, I've got farmers out there that are in that same vote. Those farmers are doing it tough, and if you think you're getting a bloody exemption, you are terribly wrong from this side. And if you are getting exemption, you had better get the farmers one over this superannuation. That's the dirty shit that's going on behind closed doors today. So if those judges are getting an exemption and they're being removed from this, this is absolute rubbish. Enough is enough. It is fair game for all, and if that's what's going on, it has to stop.
But you said to Labor that you're not.
I'm not supporting it. It is not. I will not do this to our farmers out there. I will not do this. They have a lot of assets, not a lot of cash. I do not believe Labor has done nothing but attack farmers and ag since they've been in, and they've done that with small business, and this is where we're at. So if you give those judges in Australia an exemption, then we're going to have one hell of a fight on our hands today. That one?
Can I ask you about an actual?
Oh yeah, Rex and I have plenty to say about that, don't we, Rex? Rex loves it.
My understanding is that, because you were saying a couple of days ago that you would never be able to elect a candidate unless they
That's right.
yeah. But I think unless I'm mistaken, I'm very happy you're mistaken. I think you spent less than that on your 2019
Yeah.
campaign.
Yeah.
So do you think something's changed?
No, sweetie, I have to be brutally honest. The only reason I got up in the first time, as much as I gave my house up and took little money that I had and spent all that, the $100,000 that I had, I ran out of money, and I was very lucky to have Clive Palmer come and help me out and put me into Palmer United Party. Had it have not been for Clive Palmer and the $3 million that he spent in Tasmania, which was pretty much directed at getting me up, I would not be here today. And I have to make that very loud and clear. I don't have to spend that sort of money because Clive Palmer gave me that opportunity to get in here, and I've been able to maintain that. So I'm very grateful for that.
In some sense, Jacqui is a little bit of an anomaly because she's a brand in her own right. She's extremely well known across Australia and quite popular. What we've got to make sure is that where there are capable people that don't necessarily have a brand or a profile but could do really good work in this building, that they're given an opportunity. And unfortunately, the electoral reforms in the current state that they're in basically are designed to entrench the duopoly, and that's not good for democracy.
You know what, I think, look at Jane Hume. Tap dancing this morning on ABC. I'll tell you what, go and see Jane Hume. Apparently she spent no election during her period. We wouldn't know what Jane Hume spent to get her seat again because the Liberals do it all in one pack. Okay, that's the rubbish behind this. So how much did Jane Hume spend? What do the Liberals want to come out and say? What did it cost you for Jane Hume's seat in the last election? Okay, let's go. I want to know what Jane Hume, it cost to get Jane Hume up. And she's been a sitting member for long enough. You want to open up the fight today? Let's find out. Great. Thank you, guys.
All right, thank you.
Excellent.
And we've got some we've got the salaries and so forth here, just in case you don't have them. So maybe share those around. That's sheets there. So we've also
There's
got-
plenty of sheets. There's printouts there if that's helpful. And if you need anything, just ring the office. Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks.